During the night, I stuck some veneer to these front faces and then trimmed out the edges with a flush trim bit. To hide the end cuts, I used some 6mm strip of hardwood. I took measurements and cut some 45° at the ends. Then glued them and secured it with brad nails. I repeated the same step for all the 4 face plates. The hardwood strips were a bit oversized. I trimmed them down with flush trim bit on the router before attaching them to the drawers. I cover the end cuts of the cabinet using some curved hardwood strips. I measure the length, cut the 45° using the sled and secure it with brad nails. Attaching the face plates are next. I eyeball the distance from the bottom and then pre-drill some pilot holes. I secure on only one end and then set the face plate straight before driving the second screw. Then follow these steps from top to bottom to create equal gaps between each drawers. Before attaching the veneer to the cabinet, I check if the cut size is correct. Then I pour some Fevicol hyper glue to stick the veneer to the sides. I clamp the veneer with some hardwood so the pressure from the clamp is evened out. Also, having these woods will stop clamps from leaving marks on the veneer. I sand the sides to remove dirt and oil with 220 grit sandpaper. I also sand the face frames with a sanding block. I used Nerolac varnish to cover up the veneer. It's almost colorless and put on a thick coat each time. The next morning, I gave the sides a light sanding with 320 grit before applying the second coat. I love how the finish raises up the contrast in the veneer. To add the handles to the face plate, I mark the points to drill, then pre-drill and countersink them with a Forstner bit. After applying some finish to the face plate, I put some screws through the pre-drilled holes, then tighten the handles using a screwdriver. I know it's a mess on the front side, but that will be covered with these beautiful face plates. I just drive the screws again through the same holes to attach the face plates. The last step is to add the stove kicker. I made this by gluing together 2 strips of pine with redwood in between. I love how these came out. I will sure try more such combinations in future projects. To secure these to the base, I first countersink with a Forstner bit, then drill some pilot holes to avoid splitting. I run a bead of Fevicol hyperglue on the end before driving in some 2-inch screws. With that, the storage cabinet with drawers is ready. Now, what would I change if I do this project again? I would have actually stuck the veneer first and then covered up the edges with this frames. I would have got a proper length of screws because here they are shaking. This one definitely I would have changed. Instead of trying to put them at the edge, I would have put them inside about an inch or a half inside so that it looks much better. Right now I really don't like the feel of this. I would definitely change it in my next design. This was a great learning for me. The other thing would be I would have stained this wood to match the outer veneer color. Apart from that, this really serves the job. It has 4 drawers which is very easy to access and it's just on my reach. So I really love this project, but there are few things that I would change. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button below, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Follow me on Instagram to see what I'm working on right now, and like me on Facebook to see some behind the scene videos. Here are some videos that might interest you. Until next time, happy learning.